Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Davis Mills, one of the best first names in the game. Fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I really do appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Davis Mills, the Red Texans, a little naked keeper to get us going. We're going to hit the new number 1 at the bottom on the little crosser or over. It's a nice job from Davis Mills making this thing happen because the flat is not there. We'll see the sneak or slide flat from your guy 12, Nico Collins, coming across, get knocked off from the back end. We'll talk about why that probably happens from the bang or late flat. But this is a really nice job from Davis Mills, showing the athleticism, moving. I like the condensed move the pocket. So right before the snap, I'll stop it. Now, I feel like I talk about this literally every video, but in a condensed formation, so everybody's tight inside the numbers, and we're running any iteration of a naked or a keeper, and there is almost always going to be someone in the flat, someone in the over, and someone to the corner. Okay, how you get there are the decisions. So what they run here is what I'm used to calling a slide or sneak flat. Now, it's difficult. Usually you see it run from a sniffer or fullback position here, where you can kind of quickly and easily avoid any sort of penetration from the first level of the defense. When you run it from the line of scrimmage on the other side, it does hide it, so they're not calling it out, but it makes it longer, and it's just a difficult path to navigate to get to the flat. So the first thing to do here is just watch him get knocked off. So that is almost always the first read. The second read is going to be that over coming across where the ball goes. The thing about the over that you want to pay attention to is you want that over to be the same relationship to the quarterback's path. So that's the kind of matchup. And then we'll talk about the bang or a late flat decision from the end zone. So first, watch Nico Collins coming across. I mean, shoot, he looks like he's going for a double right out the batter's box. That thing's way around, and it has to be. There's almost no way you could come up here, undercut this big guy, and get out to the flat. It's just not going to happen. So now watch the relationship between the quarterback and the over. See how they're kind of right in sync? They're both on the hash at the same time. That's going to give that quarterback a great opportunity to see that thing, work together, and get a nice completion on the move. Now, the bang or late flat part of this play. And again, I joke because, again, I feel like I say this a lot, but coaching tight ends has always been a dream because I think it's crazy easy. But this is one of the few decisions that you kind of have to make. So from a play design standpoint here, someone's going to run to the corner, and it's really a glorified clear for that crosser coming across. Very rarely is that corner thrown unless it's just dropped. So who's going to do it? Okay, do you want to do this guy or this guy? Now, this guy would make like the most sense because he has a clear path. Now, you don't know that as a play designer. Maybe they can communicate who's who in the zoo as far as who's going to do it. But if you're asking this guy to go to the corner and the number 1, the wing here, to be the late or bang flat defender, so he's going to secure the edge and then leak out like a check down. So really you would read this thing 1 to the flat, 2 to the over, and then sometimes you go back to the flat on the sideline 3, and sometimes you go to this bang flat as 4 or 3. So it all moves as like a moving triangle. But the thing that's hard here from a football scheme standpoint is this wing is never going to block a 4-eye. It's just never going to happen. And so this, like what's often referred to as elephants on parade as far as what the offensive line are doing here. They're selling run, low flat hats, trying to sell this run. But if we're not going to block this guy with the right tackle, this is an impossible block. And it then has to be the tight end. And then we just have to live with a collision corner there. So a lot of moving parts to say this block, this decision to have him block him is a no-win situation. So, again, could 87 get it? Sure. But he's running the corner. So that knocks off the slide or the sneak flat, right? That knocks him off. And now we've got to go to the over. at the end of the day, nice job, Davis Mills on the run. Let's go. Next one here. This is what I'm used to calling a 4-point third down. So third down in the red zone. If we miss it, if we don't get a first down here, we're probably going to kick a field goal. So we lose 4 points here on the incompletion. We're going to throw to the number 2 down here on what I'm used to calling like a racer corner. It's essentially a kind of like hybrid corner rolled out combination. I think it probably ends up going to the correct guy. You know, I think one of the things that Davis Mills does so well in this game, and probably has done the last 3 weeks, is be super decisive, get the ball out of his hand, make good decisions. This ball looks like he checks right, comes back to the left. Now, again, you know, hard to tell from the film if it goes through his hands or not. What I will say is it's just a difficult throw. And again, it looks like they've got multiple plays called. He's getting to what he wants at the line of scrimmage. What ends up happening here is, looks like we get fade up top. I don't like that. It's essentially verse 2 guys up here. Don't like that at all. Then down here to the bottom, this little like shin or now slant, like a 1-step slant, paired with what I'm calling this like racer rolled out. Now, I think most people, most systems down here would lean into this being a little bit more of a corner, where you come up here, maybe you give them a little nod, and you set this thing to the back pylon, and then the throw carves you more down towards the middle. This looks much more like it's baked into the top of this route, where it's kind of like rolled and tight out of here. The reason I dislike the way that they're doing it is just because the window to miss is so small. I mean, it is tight, as opposed to traditional corner. You know, you can miss all the way up here and kind of give your guy an opportunity to carve this down sometimes. So just the window for the miss is really tight. Again, I think it's probably the right decision. I'm not mad at the combination. I just prefer corner, true corner versus this true kind of like racer rolled out. And again, you know, could you put it on the now right away? Maybe. It's going to be a big collision right there. He might score through the collision. But it looks like Davis checks up top. Also, Davis, what a great first name, man. That's outstanding. No, ball out. Good miss. Almost a touchdown. Next one here. Another what I would classify as borderline racer out up top to the number 2. Now, this is a bummer on a number of different levels. The guy who's guarding the number 2 up top eats it, right? Turf monstered, broken ankles, all bad. This is a shame, because this is one of those ones where I feel like, and again, you can make excuses like, oh, he's not the starter, or he hasn't been playing a lot. You know, this is one of those ones, you know, even if we like met at the park and we're playing pickup and the guy who's guarding you fell down, I would hope you would be able to kind of run to the space to be able to make this a very easy throw. And usually some people will call it throwing up the mailbox. I haven't been around a lot, if any system, where your guy, if you fall like this, so he murders this guy with the stem. So he's down, man down, okay, certified. I would just prefer you widen and throw your hand up. That to me is a traditional adjustment mailbox. Now you can't do that if you're catching a go here, you know, with it. You've got to stay in your route. But this to me is almost like a little short in or fin or that now slant type thing. Instead of murdering him at the line of scrimmage and then rolling your closed kind of racer out again, just to kind of cover yourself and make this a more difficult throw. I'm not mad at this throw. I feel like they're just not on the same page. And that's more evident of just not playing enough in this kind of real time together. Because I think most quarterbacks and or coordinators, receiver coaches would expect him to, oh my God, he's down. Just throw your hand up. Go, 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 go. As opposed to not being on the same page and running a route to get covered and missing it. Next one here, this is a bummer, because this is a really cool, well-designed play. They actually do this a few times in this game where they motion out like this at the bottom and run an outbreaker. I mean, this is a perfect throw. We have to get 2 feet down in the NFL. I mean, this simply has to happen. We have to catch this ball. So it looks like a catch there. I'm guessing they overturned it, looked at it, challenged it, whatever. But from a Davis Mills perspective, from a quarterback perspective, this is outstanding. This is third medium, gun, 3 no-hitch, ball right up on his face. I mean, you can't throw it much better than that on an outbreaker. It's well inbounds. You know, sometimes you'll throw it like outside the white and he has to make a circus toe tapper catch. You got it. I mean, come on, dog. That has to get toe in there. That is unacceptable on the perimeter. And again, I really like the design here. Watch the shift to bunch. So 2 movements, shift, and then a motion at the bottom, this little shuffle out. So what this shuffle out does is it does two things. When you shuffle out like this, the natural tendency, in my opinion, on the back end for these DBs is almost always going to be to soften. So if you want a DB to soften, motion out like this. Now, the thing that makes it difficult, so that's the plus, is that he motions out. The negative to this is it makes any sort of timing route harder, in my opinion. So this like speed out from movement is going to happen a little bit different timing than a stationary start. So the timing of it is a little funky, but the throw is outstanding. I mean, the execution, everything except getting that second foot down. Look when he makes this throw. He's separated his throw right there. I mean, that's that lowercase anticipation. That's a hell of a throw outside the numbers. Got to get your feet in. Must get feet in, because that's too good of a play on third medium to design it up. Start in 2x2, shift to loose bunch, 3x1, motion, shuffle the number 1 out, run a free access, speed out, gun, decisive, ball on him. Must be a completion. Next one, right on cue, another 2 movement throw outside the numbers. So shift, we're going to shuffle motion again up top, get to the play that he wants. These are going to be deep hinges. We're going to rip it down here to the bottom. Anticipation, outside the numbers, down the field, great base, decisive, ball out, big chunk. Let's go. Let's go. Making it look easy. One-on-one outside the numbers should feel like this. Just feel like stepping up to the line, knocking down a free throw. Like easy can of corn, pitch and catch, outstanding job here. Command at the line of scrimmage. A good design to be able to get to what he wants to. It looks like he wants to get to the second play, then almost goes back to the first play. Nice pass protection, rip it down the field. So again, understanding the whole operation at the line of scrimmage. At the end of the day, we don't have to be in the huddle to know that he's getting to the play that he wants, right? They present 3x1 wing to the defense. We're going to catch closed here. He's going to get what he wants. This deep hinge off that. Again, you see the game plan unfolding now. This short shuffle motion, it softens the corner up top ever so slightly. And then we're just going to have one-on-one outside. And again, when he goes to throw that thing, right there, he's throwing it. Look at the receiver at the bottom. I mean, I'm not going to draw it up every single time, but this is anticipation, right? Thing of beauty. Doing it. They've been doing it like this in Houston for a while, but Davis Mills going in there, not missing a beat. I love it. Playing at a super high level. Just love the decisiveness. Love his ability to drive the ball down the field on time, outside the numbers. It's outstanding football. It really is. Next one here. This is a little bit of a bummer. So we've seen that outside the numbers drive the ball down the field throws. Now we're going to see a few touch throws. And this touch throw just comes up a little short. Now, this to me is not my favorite play in the world. 2x2 condensed, what I'm used to calling all stick. That means quick outs on the outside, sticks by the number 2, mirrored routes on both sides. Versus press, oftentimes you'll get a fade adjustment. So that is there. The throw is underthrown. You'd love to give your guy a chance. I will tell you what I personally would love to see done from Davis Mills probably is not what they're coached to do. Okay, this is my own idiosyncratic way to play this play. But this is quick out. This is stick. Here's the stick. And again, here's that press. So if their adjustment to quick out press is to fade it, okay, great, run a fade. You got all this space. That's the matchup you want. I like it. The thing about this play from under center is that it's 3 no hitch usually. So you read that thing outside in, no hitch versus close or quarters, you'll probably get a quick out versus open 2, you'll probably get a stick. All right, so it'd be 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Now, this is where I prefer to have a little bit of like common sense or loose footwork rules. Okay, so if the footwork is 3 no hitch, just normal under center quick game footwork, and you know you're going to throw a press fade, I either like a big 3, like a massive 3, like a giraffe 3, or I like a 5 quick. And the reason I like a 5 quick is because, or 5 no hitch, however it hits your brain, is because this just takes a little bit longer. And you got to, especially versus bump, you want to give this guy a chance to work. And so when you take 3 no hitch, these guys are just in your lap. You know, even if you're a true giraffe in many different ways, they're just in your lap. So to make it easier on yourself, get depth. Now, again, does that mean that Davis Mills is doing this wrong? No, this is probably exactly how they coach him to do it. I'm just telling you my idiosyncratic, anecdotal way to do this, so we don't have to turn this into a Bryce Young jump throw. Is just take 5 quick, because the ball's going to come out. You know, you're putting your tackles in a tough spot because the landmark would be a little different, but the ball's coming out quick. I mean, this is one that just absolutely chaps your ass if you're playing quarterback, because this is a touchdown, and he just doesn't give his guy a chance. And again, you can see from the back end here, if you just get a little bit more depth in a 5 quick kind of is close enough to a 3 no hitch that you can just get yourself a little bit more depth, especially if you know you're taking that shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a shame. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I really do appreciate you when you subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing it. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can check out all the courses over at theqbschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. And then finally, please make sure to follow me across all the different social media platforms. I really do appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one here, just one of my favorite calls of the night. Third medium, we're going to run a little shovel long trap. Now, this has a chance to hit, and it certainly gives us an opportunity on 4th down if we want it. But the thing that kills me here is we don't even block this correct. So if we could sort this thing out, and again, everybody loves motion until you have to figure things out on the move. But just the overall design, let's talk just the design. So it's third medium. We're in empty 3x2, dirty bunch, okay, with an inline Y. So this presents all sorts of problems to a defense. When we come across here, we are just going to catch it and quick pitch it right here. And then here comes the long trap. So a long trap really just means that the guard is kicking out the D-gap player here, this defensive end, and then we'll talk about from the back end what's going on with the run identification. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a big deuce double team to the backside backer if he ever shows up. And then the block that kills us is because the motion here. So as we go in motion, I drew it up wrong to start with. So as we go to motion here, we should be here with the motion block, MDM, and then the tight end should be up to the next one. We shouldn't both be going to this guy. That's the miscommunication. And again, it's not easy with motion. Everybody loves motion until you have to do all this run identification, who's who in the zoo. So watch him come across, okay? And then both these guys are going to go to this player. If we were to just go hat on a hat here, if the tight end just went straight ahead, this play hits. This play might score. And again, not only, the crazy thing here is, not only do we block it wrong, I would say we probably block it wrong at the tight end position here. Now, you know, maybe the wide receiver is supposed to go up and block this, whatever. We block it wrong over here, and then we block it wrong on the backside too, because they're running for this backer. Technically, this quote-unquote deuce or down block should go down to this backer. So we've got really both sides of the wide receiver spectrum / tight end blocking it wrong. It still hits. It still's a good play, but the little details, like the nuance to make it a great play, and I don't think it's that hard. It's just this formation. So if you're playing defense here, okay, and we got the defensive end zone here, we've got 3 over here, and it's a dirty bunch as far as presenting the flank of the defense. And then we've got an inline tight end and a wide receiver. So when we motion across, so now offensively, we're going to motion across, okay? The tight end and the motion guy need to sort out who's who in the zoo. I'm saying the tight end needs to go straight up, and this guy needs to go out, I will call it the nickel or the star. Then the front wise, I mean, look at this front. Just look at this play call. You can't get a bigger second level bubble than this. So what we'd want to do is we'd want to go down. I would call this a deuce to whoever the hell shows up over here, probably 24. Then we're going to be blocking back on a 4 technique. We're going to gap hinge this thing to the end, and then we're going to kick out this wide ass end who all these guys think they're pass rushing. So, I mean, this thing is made to order. Just a thing of beauty. Everything except the blocking on the perimeter is perfect right here. Oh my goodness. And again, the left tackle's got to get up to 24. First of all, left tackle knocked the crap out of 92 on the way to 24. And that's a shame. Here comes another missed touchdown opportunity, this time to the inline Y up top. So we really got two seams going here versus middle field closed. This is an easy read. I would classify it as a borderline easy throw if you trust your pass protection. Now, I don't think he trusts his pass protection here, and I despise backs cutting like this in the backfield. But man, if we set our feet and throw just any sort of touch here, this is probably another touchdown. So we don't even need to know necessarily what the read is, what the play is. We've got the two inside receivers now. He's running a seam. He's running a seam. We're catching middle field closed. So middle field closed, but the post safety is way over here. So this is, you could almost throw this like a fade with so much air. What I'm saying here is whatever the drop is supposed to be, we'll call it 5. He's got to trust this guy to come up here. And in my world, I want him to blunt the backer. And that means take him on with their feet standing, running your feet right through the middle. Snot bubbles. Again, guys love to cut like this. I hate to cut because I think the guy's going to fly into my knees and he's going to get up real quick. It's like a one pump chump. And again, this is a touchdown missing throw, touchdown missing execution. And again, he's fading, bailing out of there. Easy for me to say, trust it and let it rip. And again, that's those are wide open layups in the league. Great job. I mean, the tight end absolutely gaps this cat at the line of scrimmage. Whoop! Made to order, just a little underthrown again. And it's really just a bummer because I think the pass protection lets him down. The trust of the pass protection lets him down. His footwork lets him down. And then the ball is just short again because we're jump throwing that thing. And again, could we catch this? Maybe. I mean, you see that red paw in there too. Dang. Next one here, touchdown pass. This is a really nice job from Davis Mills. It looks like he's trying to work up top to Nico Collins. Not there. Comes back down here to the bottom to the corner. And really the Bills corner probably just loses his mind here. And comes up on the flat. So again, I love the ability from Davis Mills here to go no to our right, back to the side, no panic, 1, 2, ball on him. Just a really nice job being able to find Kirk here on the back end. And again, love the design here. Trying to get the ball right here. Right here. This is where it's trying to go. 1. Okay, when that's not there, we've got this little like bluff corner and bluff flat. And what happens here is we get the edge defender running out on the flat, and then we get the corner also coming down on the flat right here. And that just creates this huge void. So when he goes 1 to 2, 2's wide ass open. But again, you still have to be able to see it, the patience, the poise, the ability to throw the ball, execute down in the tight red. Really well done. Outstanding. Next one here, beautiful little seam up top to the new number 2. This is a great job getting this thing up and down before the safety comes over and takes a big shot on him. Again, I love the quick hitch. Now, looks like he takes a real shot there, and it's going to happen when you catch the ball over the middle. But this is a beautiful job of catching Collins on the matchup you want, getting the ball up and down quickly, takes a big shot. Jeez Louise. Keeps it going too. You can tell that one rattled him. But again, pay attention to the motion here. So the tight end going outside. So now we get the matchup we want. Okay, we're working the inside. We're going to throw this seam right past the second level, in front of the deep third level, and before the safety from the other side can come over and hit the ball. Now he hits us. That causes an issue. But it's a beautiful job here of getting this ball up and down. Again, footwork-wise, what I love from Davis Mills, I haven't talked about it much in this video, but he's got a great base. When he goes to throw this thing, watch how tight of a hitch it is. There's no feet together. There's no heel click. This thing is out tight, especially for a big dude. This is impressive footwork. See how tight that reset is? 1, 2, 3, tight hitch. And that ball is out. He's throwing it right there. Let's go. Seam, chunk, let the big body work. Outstanding. Next one here. Explosive play. We're going to look up top, not there, reset our feet, come down to the bottom, and find this little, whether you want to call this a fin, a jerk, whatever you want, Kirk coming across shallow and fast to be able to give us a nice outlet. Again, watch him work the full field. So whatever the read is to the right, no, back across, reset your feet, violent movement, put it on him. Good things happen, be decisive, get the ball out of your hand, just a really nice job. Again, he most likely is working the number 1 up top on whatever this route is supposed to be. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know what this route is. I'm assuming he just gets jacked up so much that this is never there. If he was looking at the number 2, you could probably say put it on him, let him get out of bounds. But then it's not there. We're able to come back and find it. Now, the other part about it is when he says no to this, so great. I don't like that either. He's getting jacked up. He doesn't bail out of there. He doesn't take off and run. It's not one and run. He's able to move and then watch him reset his feet. So not everything needs to be off platform. Like this is very like pseudo old school as far as like, no, move, reset. Again, watch him keep his base, and it's perfect because he's got white kicks on here on the logo. You can see there's no heel click. That ball's out. He's super balanced. It's just a really nice job. Nice job also by Kirka here at the bottom, staying alive for us. No, no, no. Beautiful. And then that thing turns into punt return left. Let's go. Next one here, touchdown pass up top to Higgins, the number 2. Now, whether this is an option or a called slant like this, it's an outstanding job from Davis Mills putting it on him. I love the call. If this is a true option or choice for Higgins, I love this route because he does what I'm used to calling cross the technique. So 39 sitting outside of him. Most times that would tell you to run out. If you can get inside, though, it's a big play. And so I want you to watch here. Watch how he's able to kind of, and again, what I'm calling a little choice. I don't know for sure if it's a choice. A traditional choice would be this guy to the corner, and then the number 2 here kind of skips off, and then he comes up to like 5 or 6 and has a decision to make. He can settle up in zone. He can run out. He can run in, and then some teams allow you to take it to the slant for the big play. Now, again, it might be just a called, tailpipe slant. If that's the case, it's great design, great call, good execution. If this is a true choice here from Higgins, I love this route because as he comes up to this, the defender is inside leverage right here. He's trying to push him out and undercut this thing. The leverage of inside would tell you to go out, but the big play, if you can cross the inside leverage, is to the slant. And it's just a really nice job from everyone involved, design, execution, on him, boom. Quick, decisive base on the body. The throw protects him. It's just a big-time football play. And again, to execute this like this anywhere on the field, but even harder in the red zone, tight, condensed windows, crossing leverage, again, super decisive. Looks like the first read wins. Ball on you, touchdown, let's go. Next one here, this is a really tough look. This is 3rd and long. We're going to get a free runner through the A gap. Now, I know a great course about pass protection that goes into significant detail about never wanting a free runner through the A and the B gap. And I agree with that as an overarching philosophy. This is one of those looks. I'm used to calling this a battery blitz, AAA blitz. It's a tough look for any pass protection. I think Davis Mills does a nice job here, avoiding the sack, getting the ball out far enough to not be a grounding on the sideline near the line of scrimmage. Now, the thing about it here is if you're only going to do 6-person protection, so the first thing you could do here is say, all right, instead of just having it chip and go here, we could move the tight end into the backfield and have these guys back here for old school 7-person protection to handle this. That would be an answer. But if you're going to stay in this play, okay, if you're saying, hey, we're going to roll the dice with this, the only way you would ever be able to pick this up is to get to a full slide protection. And you just don't see full slide protection a lot in the league because you don't want running backs and tight ends blocking one-on-one on the edge. So this is a traditional half slide pass protection. So the center's going to the right, the back's stepping up and taking the A gap backer. So again, once we get this look, and this guy's not necessarily part of the pass protection. So he doesn't have this guy one-on-one here. He's just chipping on his way to his check down. If he's part of if he has this guy, then usually he's back here and he's tracking him and he can go make this block. So that's the first thing you could adjust with. But if we're going to live in 6-person pass pro, where it's just these and the tight end is out, and the back then is going to be We're going to fan out here. We want big on big, and then we want the back going 1 to 2. Well, if both these guys blitz, we're hot. We need to throw the ball. So once he comes here and we eat this up, he is going to pick, they're going to have a hard time picking this thing up. So we've got to be able to come out and have a hot throw. So that's on the scheme. And again, the only way you would be able to, the way most people would want to pick this up is to go full slide away from the back. So everyone to the left. And then the back comes across. If there's nobody there, the back can peek back for a scan. But it's going to be very hard. And even with the full slide, you'd really need to be able to see this guy bail out of here and then come back here and close all these doors. I mean, it would be hard. I'm going to say right now, this AAA blitz is a mother. And so watch this thing sort itself out. The back does a nice job. The center does a nice job. And they're attacking what I'm used to calling that Z gap. So again, so A gap, A gap. When we go this way and the back steps up here, so he's blocking the A gap, we now have this new gap here. Okay. I call it the Z gap. Nobody else calls it the Z gap. Okay. That's my terminology. I didn't invent it until that's the way that I refer to it. So if you have this Z gap here, and that's what they're trying to attack with this AAA blitz, you need someone else to pick it up. So you either need the tight end over here or the quarterback's got to be responsible for it. And it's real tough to see when it's staring right down the pipe when your eyes are down the field. So no, 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 oh God. And again, from the wide, where do you want the ball to go? So the ball could technically go to the number 1 up top on that shallow, on that drive, but it's 3rd and long. Like, I mean, I'm not excited to throw this as a hot route on 3rd and long. So there's not a lot of great answers here. You just kind of tip your hat. Hey, they get paid on defense too. They got you. Next time we got to have a better pass pro answer, a better hot answer. But nice job from Davis Mills avoiding the sack. Next one here, another drive throw deep down the field outside the numbers. Again, this little hinge down here to the bottom, post shuffle motion. So again, same game plan, shuffle motion, loosen the corner. Now the coverage is not the same as the last time we ran this, but the execution's pretty elite. Davis Mills' throw, pretty outstanding. Put it on him deep down the field. I'm used to calling this coverage quarter, half. So if you have deep hinges, you don't really want to throw a hinge versus a half field rolled up cloud corner and half field safety. You'd much rather throw it versus a free access quarter safety and corner to the left. So it doesn't look like he totally knows where the ball is going to go immediately because he's got to turn his back with this play action. But once he does sort it out coverage-wise, he's able to identify where the free access, where the one-on-one is. Again, notice the shuffle motion and what it does to the corner. Here comes the shuffle, loosen. I mean, come on, guys. This is just stealing here at this point. So as we get here, the coverage structure for me is half field player, rolled up cloud corner, quarter safety, quarters corner. So if you have a deep hinge and a deep hinge, you don't have to be a coverage guru to realize where the one-on-one is. Now, again, easier said than done to the wide side of the field, turning your back, no, and ripping it with a little bit of anticipation. A little A again. Have yourself a day, Davis Mills. Let's go, bro. Last one here, 3rd medium. There's a lot of issues on this one. So again, it's pretty nice that Davis Mills can cover up a lot of issues here and still get a completion. Now, again, you got to be okay playing quarterback in the league, punting after a 3rd down completion. I feel like I've done a decent job of saying how much I enjoy this plan. The plan was outstanding. There were a lot of guys open. The first guy was open a lot. This is not it. So the pass pro from the back, again, listen now. I'd love to start a revolution. Don't cut from the backfield. I'm the only one that thinks that. On the actual front end of this play, whatever this is supposed to be. So the first down is the 47. You can see the little orange barely at the very top right there. Whatever this is supposed to be, we really only have one receiver going past the sticks. So, I can't tell you who's in the wrong here. Somebody's in the wrong because we're not supposed to run into each other friendly fire. Okay. And again, in front of the sticks, whatever this route is, quick out versus press in front of the sticks. None of this is for me. When you see this, you think of a big sign right through my face, not for me. So we got one guy going past the sticks, and I'm not sure it's even a viable throw. But we still are able to get a completion. We're still able to overcome guys running into each other, the 3 and the 2 running into each other right there. And that's a bad feeling. Boom. Not great, Bob. Back on the ground. Not great, Bob. Completion. Make them tackle. All right, they tackle. We punt. Okay. Next time, maybe have a few more guys go beyond the sticks or have some separation opportunities. But again, this is a pretty outstanding job from Davis Mills to overcome dudes running into each other on the left. Boop. Back. Closing eyes, trying to cut. Boop. Moving to our left, getting a completion. Left tackle getting dump trucked. Boop. All right. Pretty sweet. So that is a wrap. Davis Mills. Have yourself a couple weeks, Davis Mills. Pretty outstanding. Fun to watch, fun to break down. Dude is pretty polished. He really is. I love the way he's able to be super decisive. He drives the ball down the field, outside the numbers, on time, with anticipation. You know, was it perfect? No, there were some opportunities there for maybe some touch throws that could have made the day an even better day as far as, you know, the fade or the seam. But overall, my goodness, loved the plan. There was some opportunities in there for some really cool design. Overall, a lot of that first read world was there, but when it wasn't there, Davis Mills made him right. He's able to go full field, got a couple big plays, whether it was the touchdown to the corner or the backside little shallow coming across. There were some big plays there because Davis Mills was operating at a really high level, processing, getting through reads, outstanding quarterbacking. So very excited for that film. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.